Ladies and gentlemen, what is up? Welcome back for part 2 with the pastor of New Beginnings Church in Chicago and founder of Project H.O.O.D, Pastor Corey Brooks. My guy, my brother from another mother, as my kids like to say. If you missed part 1, you got to go back and listen to it when this one's over, okay? We talked all about Project H.O.O.D, what that name means, what they're trying to do. We talked about the Walk Across America campaign. We talked about the Leadership and Economic Opportunity Center that he's trying to put up in Chicago right now. It's going up. If you go to his social media, you'll see it, man. It's a dream coming to life. It's going to change lives. It's going to generationally change families. I promise you that. We talked about how he spent almost a year on top of a roof in Chicago just to raise funds for that, to bring awareness to everything that's going on and what he's trying to do to inject Christ into that community. It is powerful, man. We talked all about that. We talked about how he's trying to do that debt-free and all that kind of stuff, and we're going to get into it more at the end of this episode, so if you missed it, I guess it'll be here too. But we also talked some lighter stuff, like we talked a little boxing back in the day. Pastor Brooks knew how to put the gloves on and slip the jab and tag some people a little bit, but that's a good sport. I like that. We talked about how this guy actually walked with lions in Zimbabwe. If that doesn't intrigue you, check your pulse, because I don't know about you, but the lion, that's my animal right there. I would never touch one. I fear it. I have a healthy fear, as the Lord says. So, but this week we're going to get into a segment. So we're going to have some fun, and then we'll get serious at the end. So, but before we get to that, you guys know me. You got to give props where they're due, and I try and give a couple quick shout outs at the beginning of this episode right here. If you're an artist in my area or you're passionate about art at all, I want to encourage you to check out the Steve Brown Art Center in Jessup, Iowa. They got a website. They got a Facebook page. Check it out. It is the creative heart of Buchanan County, and they're trying to do something good over there. It's a thriving community where art flourishes. With dynamic exhibits and interactive workshops, they spark creativity and passion. So discover a world of artistic inspiration at the Steve Brown Art Center. Check them out on Facebook. See what they're all about. But if you're looking to purchase some good art, let me tell you, it's top-notch, it's affordable. You want to go to one place. My guy, TonyThomasArt.com. He was on episode 52. That'd be the late Phil Robertson's son-in-law, Tony Thomas. This guy creates some good, awesome stuff that will no doubt look good on the walls of your home, whether you're in Chicago, whether you're in Fairbank, Iowa, or that cabin of yours or that vacation home. It'll look good, man. Check him out, TonyThomasArt.com. It's good stuff for you or a gift for someone else. Okay, now that we've done that, you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the best new podcast on the market. Pastor Brooks, good morning. How was worship?
Man, it was great. Thank you for having me on the show again today. And we had a wonderful worship, had a great time, and God is still in the blessing business.
Yeah, he sure is. He sure is. That's kind of my test. When you said, okay, I could probably get back on tomorrow, maybe around 1:15, I said, you got a good pastor. He can't get out of there anytime he thinks he can get out of there. He's got, and you're still there.
I'm still here. And I still got some young people waiting around on me. So
right.
Okay, though. So hopefully you won't hear them in the background or anything, but everything is good.
I love it. All right. You ready to get into these segments?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay. Pastor Tommy's segment. I had a pastor that was a big movie guy, and he just said, man, he hopes there's a movie theater room in heaven. So when you get there, you can say, I want to see this, whether it was a biblical event, a historical event, anything. If that room exists, when you get there and you sit back and you hit the little button and you recline back, what are you going to tell the Lord to bring up for you so you can see how it went down?
I got to be honest. I would love to see just the book of Genesis, because starting from creation, thinking about how God created man and how he created woman from man, just that whole God breathing life into man so that he become a living soul.
Yeah.
Whole experience, then seeing the fall of man with the temptation in the garden. I would love to see that. And of course, I would love to see how Noah built that ark, So the book of Genesis, I think, would be a great movie experience, just to sit down and watch that whole thing. If you could, I think I would love to do that.
Oh, that's a good one. Good choice right there. That's really good. Yeah, I saw this argument the other day when you said breathe life into Adam's nostrils. I follow the pro-life movement big time, done some episodes on that, and I saw this, but I always listen to the other side. I want to know where they're coming from. And this one I had never heard before. They said life doesn't begin until that baby takes its first breath out of the womb, because that's when God, he breathed life. And I was like, oh my goodness. You're reaching. You're reaching. I've heard
That's a
all the
real reach.
arguments. Man, you're telling me that baby ain't a human being until it's completely out of the womb? Come on. All right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Crazy. All right. Now this one, I got a feeling your studio audience is going to laugh. So if they laugh, they got my permission. That's fine. This is called Gen Z slang. Now I don't know.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
You think
I
you're going to
want
do good?
I think I should. If I don't, I'm going to be surprised. I pride myself on knowing all the latest lingo. So,
Do you think that
hey,
helps you with
yeah,
the
it does
kids?
help. Yeah, it
Okay.
definitely helps me. I just hope it's not a cultural thing. So don't give me all the white Gen X things now. You got to get some hood Gen X. You got to have some hood in there a little bit now, bro. Come
All
on
right.
now.
We're checking our diversity box today. Okay, guys. Okay. Well, you'll teach me some then. We'll see. And some of these are old. My kids will tell me, Dad, nobody says that one anymore. But I got it on my list. So rizz. You know what rizz is?
Oh yeah, that's like somebody trying to get a date with a girl, or they're trying to tell her she looks good, and they're trying to, get her Instagram notes, her name, and
Yeah.
yeah. So I got that one.
Okay. What'd we call that back in the day? We just said you got game.
Yeah, you got a little game.
You got
That's it.
game. Charisma. Charisma. I think it's short for charisma, but you got it. Okay. 1 for 1. No cap.
No, I'm not lying. No cap means I'm not lying. It's
Two for
that.
two.
Yeah,
2 for 2. He's got it.
no cap.
All right. How about Sigma? You got any Sigmas in the room?
Ooh, Sigma. Hmm.
Did we get you?
Yeah, I think you may have me on that one.
Okay, maybe that's a Iowa white boy thing. I don't know. We'll see. Sigma. Sigma's kind of like saying alpha, like you're the top dog, man. If you're running with
Okay.
your boys, you're Sigma. If you outperform everyone.
Okay. Okay. You're Sigma.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. All right. Now this one, here we go. This one better be in your wheelhouse. Gyat. You ever heard the kids say gyat? Not gat like gun in the old rap videos, not gat.
Like
It's
a gat.
it's not
Uh,
that. It's gyat.
yeah. No, I don't know yet.
That is if a woman has a big rear end. That's her
Uh,
gyat. That's what they say.
we call that a padonkadonk.
Well, yeah, that's getting
The
cultural.
kids, the kids in the neighborhood call it slugging.
Oh, there we go. See, I haven't
Slugging.
heard that one. Okay. All right, I'm gonna add that to my list. There we go. All right. I think this one's older too. Bussin'.
Okay.
Bussin'.
Oh, that means it's good. It means it's fire. It's
You
good.
got it. You got it. All right. He's getting most of them. Uh, let's see if I can throw one more in there. Okay. Slay.
Oh, that means you killed it. That means you slayed it. That you knocked it out the park.
Yeah. Man, you got him. You got him. Okay. Last one.
Okay.
Beta. Beta.
Beta. Like a beta male?
No.
Beta?
No. Think of
Beta.
think of it like this. If Sigma or Alpha means top dog,
Beta
Beta
means
means
yeah,
Beta
like a
means
beta male. Yeah, second.
oh,
You're
beta male. Yeah.
yeah,
I didn't think you said
yeah.
male. Yeah.
You're second. You're of no influence.
Yep. Dang, man. Yeah, you got I should have known not to do that one with you. You got them all just about. Dang. Okay. Let's move on to this one. This one's kind of fun. Do-over. The do-over segment. If you could look back on your entire life and say, man, it ain't necessarily a huge regret, but it could be. But it could also just be something, man, I wish I could just do that one more time, or I would do that I know I could do better than that. So do-over. You got anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I have 4 kids, and my oldest is 35, and then I have a 33, a 30, and then a 24-year-old is my youngest. And if I could do anything over again, it would be a father, childhood, those childhood experiences. All of them grew up during a time where I was really trying to cut my teeth and really working hard and working too many hours and really trying to get things going. And we had a great house. We had a great family, but looking back, I wish I just could have spent more time with my children. So especially now that my two oldest have kids and I see my grandkids and I'm like, man, I missed out on a lot of
Yep.
things that I see in my grandkids. So if I could do anything over, it would be going back and just doing childhood over with all of my kids.
Man, that's a good answer. That's a mindful dad right there when you get to reflect and think about that. I listen to the Dan Patrick show just about every day. You know, he worked at ESPN for years on sports, but he was always second shift. You know, we'd all see him in the evenings. And then it hit him one day. He's like, I'm missing everything. I'm missing all the after school stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So
yeah.
you don't get the time back. You don't.
Definitely don't get it back. So I'm trying to make up for it. Like, even though you can't really make up for it, but you can do a little better. So yesterday I went shopping for my grandkids by myself and bought clothes, bought shoes, you know, and I never really remember doing that when my kids were small.
Mm-hmm.
My wife, I would go with them or go with the kids, but I can't remember a time where I went by myself to get them some clothes. Never, ever. So,
man, yeah, me neither. I don't know. That's good. That's stepping out there. That's out of the dad's comfort zone right there.
For sure.
Okay, let's do the getting to know you segment. So these are going to be off the wall questions that are really going to dig into the ins and outs of who Pastor Brooks is, kind of your personality, your likes, dislikes kind of thing. So let's say this one. If you had theme music every time you entered a room, what would that be?
Oh, man, theme music. The thing about it is, so I got two.
Okay.
I love the Rocky theme, kind of like the underdog, you know. I love that. And then the one that I like, there's a song by this kid. I heard it a couple of times from my son who listens to some rap music. But there's this guy, he's like really overweight, big guy, rapper called The Plug in Dallas. I think he's out of Dallas, Texas. And he's got the song called The Biggest. Okay. And so I like that. I like that song.
I'm going to write it down right now.
The Biggest. I think it's called The Biggest. The largest.
Did you just get corrected by the audience?
Yeah. The largest.
I'm going to check it out. I used to have this segment.
I hope it doesn't have any curse words in it.
They all do just about anymore, but I had this segment called Guess the Song, and I had a couple guests pick that. So what I would do, I just pull it up on my phone, put it up to the microphone. Yeah. Well, then all of a sudden you start getting copyright hits from doing that. And I didn't notice that. And I was like, oh, well, got to take that segment out. We can't do that.
Absolutely.
No. All right. Speaking of copyright, man, did I tell you yesterday that I was filming this reel, or I was dropping this reel, this football reel? It was a big deal. We were hoping it was going to get a lot of views. It's supposed to be funny. Basically, what I was doing was, I don't know if you see it on social media, but people will do these videos where you take like lines from a movie and you actually use that audio, but then you mouth the words to it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So this week I didn't drop an episode. So I was like, well, I want to do a really good reel, and I'm ready for football. It's right around the corner, high school football. So I get a couple of my kids together, and I got this idea of doing that scene from Remember the Titans where Denzel is talking to Petey, and he's like, you know, football's fun, you know? Yeah. And we did that, and it got copyrighted on YouTube last night. And they said, can't publish it, only if that, just from the audio of that movie scene. And I was like, well, I can dispute it because it's fair use or something like that. I'm just like, really? I'm a nonprofit. Come on, man. You gotta let the rights go to that. So we're going to see what happens with that one. But that reel is blowing up right now.
Right. I hope you get to use it.
I do. It's on social media. It's just YouTube won't let you do it. So.
Okay.
Put your hand down. You smiling?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Why are you smiling?
Because I love football. Football's fun.
Fun, sir.
Fun, sir.
It's fun.
Yes.
You sure?
I think.
Now you're thinking. First you smile, then you think. You think football is still fun?
Yes.
Sir?
Yes. No.
No?
Sir.
Not anymore, though, is it? Is it?
No, not right now.
No, it's not fun anymore.
No.
Not even a little bit.
No.
Make up your mind.
No.
Think. Since you're thinking now, go on, think.
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
Absolutely not?
Zero fun, sir.
All right, listen up. I'm Coach
Foster.
I'm going to tell you all about how much fun you're going to have this season.
All right, let's go to the next one. Pet peeves. What does Pastor Brooks get annoyed by?
You know, it's funny you said that because I told our church today, everybody in our church knows a lot of, I have several pet peeves, but they know at least two. One of them is I cannot stand people to be late. Like
Ooh.
that irks me,
Yeah.
especially when staff are late. I feel like, hey, we're paying you and you're late. And then not only are you late, you don't even call us and let us know you're going to be late. That's like, to me, the worst.
Okay.
And then I hate smudges on windows, like at church. Like if we come into the doors, got smudges on them or fingerprints, I'm like, I hate that. And so they make sure that all our windows are clean at the church.
Bro.
And then, you know, I hate nicks on walls. Like I'm like really finicky about taking care of God's church,
Sure.
especially, you know, being in the hood. You know, people think that the expectations sometimes are low.
Oh,
When people come here, I want them to say, wow, I did not expect. I love it when they say, I did not expect it to be this nice, this clean, this pristine. We really work hard at making sure we don't even have nicks in walls. That's how finicky I am about it.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I actually record in my basement. My son's over there. JJ, Pastor Brooks don't like smudgy windows either. I mean, that's my guy. Who wants to look through glass that's got fingerprints or forehead prints?
That's it, brother. No way.
Man. Okay. All right, let's get a little serious with this one. In your opinion, number one problem we face today. Number one.
Oh man. I said it today in the sermon is that we have a spiritually disconnected from God. And I think it's regardless of where race or what your economic status, educational status, where you geographical status, I think the fact that we are so spiritually detached from God, it's causing so many problems in all of our lives, from our family lives to our community, to our economic. So many problems are coming from the fact that people have detached themselves from having a relationship with God. So that is definitely the number one problem.
Yep, I agree. My family's doing a study on Romans. I told them if I had to pick a favorite book of the Bible, it's Romans. And it speaks to me coming from a kid who didn't grow up in the church, 20 years old. It's a life change. And I was just preparing it this morning before church. I was like, oh man, Romans 1, you get about halfway through that and Paul gets right to it. He said, this is what you wanted.
Yeah.
He gave you over to that kind of mind. So,
hey, that's it. Man. Yeah, that's a great book to study, Romans, with your family. That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, now let's do the flip side of that. What's the number one thing we got going for us?
I think the number one thing is God. I think anybody who has a relationship with God, they quickly find out that you and God can accomplish anything.
Yep.
So I think that's definitely the number one thing we have going for us. And I wish and pray and hope that more people would understand that and see that.
Yep. I tell my kids, I say, just look for it. Look at what God has done in the lives of people that were down and out, or situations that were hopeless. When God intervenes, or you ask God to intervene, I mean, you can't deny the results. So who else would you want to follow? Absolutely. God is in the life-changing business.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. This one I leave in for all the spouses of my guests. One thing you love or appreciate about your wife.
Patience.
Ooh, that's good. That is good.
Anybody who has to deal with me needs a lot of patience, brother. I'm telling you. I got a lot going on. So
Uh,
definitely patience and grace.
yep. Yep. We are imperfect human beings. Behind every great man's an even greater woman. That's what I say.
Sure.
But I also tell that joke when we think about our wives. We say, man, men, where would we be without our wives? Still in the Garden of Eden, probably. No, that's not true, but that's a good joke. Okay. All right, man, you made it through the segments. Let's get to the last one. This is
Cool.
why I started the podcast, to give people a platform to, I hate saying safe space because that's kind of a term, that's been used in a bad way that I think, but this is it. It doesn't matter what the topic is. This is it. If we disagree, agree, whatever, this is how you have conversation. So we're going to talk about the Leadership and Economic Opportunity Center you're putting up. So I want to give you a chance just to explain what that is. And then I got a bunch of questions I'm going to ask you about it.
Okay. So the Leadership and Economic Opportunity Center is a place where we're helping to transform a community, helping people to move out of poverty and violence into a life that is more productive. So we focus on 5 things: education, economics, social ills, spiritual ills, and health and wellness. So in this Leadership and Economic Opportunity Center, everything that we have there falls under one of those pillars. So this place that we're building is so that people have a place that they can go to totally transform their life.
Yeah.
In our neighborhood, we're on a block that's called O Block. It's named O Block because it's named after a young man named O.D. Perry who was shot and killed. The gangs took the O in his name and they started calling it O Block. The real name is actually King Drive.
Oh, yeah.
We decided, okay, cool. We're going to keep the O, but we're going to change it to Opportunity Block. So this Leadership and Economic Opportunity Center is all about creating opportunities. So it has so many different facets in it. We're building it. It's 90,000 square feet. We're about 50% done, and it's a crazy, humongous facility.
Yeah, everyone listening or watching at home, go check them out. New Beginnings Church, Project Hood. Go see it. The pictures, you can follow it along on social media. I've been following it every time they post something. You can kind of watch this thing come to life. You can see the architect rendering what it should look like when it's done. Man, all right. Most of that stuff I know because I've been following for a while, but this is new to some of my listeners. Check it out. So my question is, where did the idea and the inspiration and the vision come from? You got a vision for this. This ain't just an idea. Hey, let me start a podcast like I did. This takes a vision from God.
Yeah. So when I was on the roof, we were praying about how can we transform this neighborhood. And I realized, okay, everybody's not going to go to church, even though I wish they would.
Mm-hmm.
How can we evangelize them in a different way? And so we created a mission, which is Project Hood. Hood stands for Helping Others Attain Destiny. And we said that our church is going to do our local missionary work is going to go through this non-for-profit. And so this non-for-profit, we're going to use it to win people with love. We're going to use it to transform this neighborhood. And we're going to use it to help people move away from violence and dependency upon government and show them what self-responsibility and accountability and having community, what that looks like. And so the vision became creating this place that focuses on these pillars so that people can transform their lives. And we do all of it from a conservative perspective.
Gotcha. So I was unaware of your first rooftop campaign.
Yeah.
I followed the second one that hit Fox News Digital, stuff like that. So when you did the first one, you didn't have the idea yet. But when you did the second one, that was more fundraising and.
Yeah. So when we did the first one, it was 2011, November 20th to February 24th of 2012, 94 days in the winter of Chicago. And while I was there, that's when we came up with the idea of starting Project Hood. And that's when we said, okay, we're going to knock this motel down that I'm on top of. Yeah. And we're going to build a community center in place of it. So that's when the vision halfway through, when I was on the roof there, that's where the vision came about. That's where Project Hood came about. And that's where the idea for the center came about.
Wow. Wow.
And just show you what's phenomenal. One of the people on the news, there was a company, an architect company called Perkins and Will, one of the larger companies in Chicago, heard me talking about the vision on the news while I was on the roof. And they sent out someone and did a pro bono drawing of
Oh,
what I had envisioned. It's changed a little bit, but the person who they sent to do the pro bono drawing left their company and started her own company. And then she turned around and did the pro bono drawings for the center that we presently have. That's
nice.
how awesome it is that God blesses you, even sometimes when you don't even know what he's up to.
Yep. Yep. Oh man, that's good stuff. Okay. What was the reaction from the people in your church, the people in your community? What was the initial reaction like with when it was still an idea compared to what's the reaction? Because now I can see people are on board from what it
Yeah.
looks like from an outsider's perspective. But I imagine the initial reaction, was it different?
Oh yeah, it was different because number one, I was preaching a conservative gospel. I was preaching from a conservative perspective. Chicago is a very liberal place, liberal politicians, liberal city.
Yeah.
And so here I am, this black guy on the south side of Chicago, and I'm talking conservative politics, I'm talking conservative religion, I'm conservative. And so it wasn't taken to, they didn't like it.
Hmm.
And then when we start saying we're going to build a center, it became kind of like, yeah, right. We'll see. Because so many times in our community, to be honest with you, a lot of people say they're going to do a lot of things, a lot of politicians, a lot of people, a lot of pastors, a lot of churches. We're going to do this, we're going to do this. And they make big promises and they never fulfill the promise. So there's no doubt in my mind that almost everybody was probably thinking nothing is going to ever be done. And it took so long because even after 10 years of being on the roof the first time, we still hadn't broke ground yet. So it took a long time of staying with it, of praying it through. And when we finally broke ground, people kind of like, oh, maybe this might happen. But when they start seeing those columns go up and the concrete being poured and the structure being up, people have started to take notice, and everybody now is like super excited and can't wait. And they really can't believe that it's being done. It's because it really is a miracle
Yeah.
what we're witnessing on the south side of Chicago.
Man. Yeah. Well, can't remember if we talked in your part one or it was when we were talking off camera, but a lot of guys can have a lot of, dreams, but you say, that you think the Lord kind of gifted you in that faith department where most people will stop short of stepping out in faith. And you said it's just not that way with you. You're willing to just say, Lord, I'll trust you. I'll do what you
Yeah.
need.
Yeah, I think that's true. I've been given a gift of faith and to be able to believe God in, for some supernatural things and to be able to believe God in tough situations. And when some people will see the impossible, I see that it's possible with God.
Hmm.
And this center going up on this block is, man, it's just, it's nothing but God's vision, God making it happen. And it could not happen without him.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. The thing that struck me and the thing I want you to talk to is the first one. So you went through Thanksgiving, Christmas, through
Yeah.
Valentine's Day. The second one, when you hit, I was watching, I was like, man, when this guy hits winter, he ain't going to stay up there. Is he really on a tent on this bit? There's no way. What? I mean, your state of mind, the lack of comfort. I mean, how did you handle the temperatures and how'd you do it?
Well, we toughed it out, and we had made sure we had everything we needed to make it through a tough winter,
Hmm.
and people sending up food and helping us out. And the toughest thing, I tell people, it wasn't even the weather that was tough about sleeping up there on the roof. The toughest thing was just the noise.
Okay.
Um, I don't think people realize in the city on the south side of Chicago, there is so much noise. I didn't even realize it. And the fact that we're close to a train track,
Ooh.
um,
Mm.
you have so many trains coming through
Mhm.
and so much noise, shooting, sirens all night. So that probably was the toughest thing to deal with, even more so than the weather.
Yeah. What about like the isolate? I mean, you were having guests come up, it seemed like pretty frequently and stuff and
Yeah,
all
we
that, but
we had guests come up, people of influence. We had CEOs, we had business people, we had community people, influencers who would come and stay a night or two. So often I was up there with other people. So I had a tent. Then there was a second tent for the guests, and there was a third tent where we had meetings and conversations and dinner. So, but when it was just me up there, I got to tell you, was isolation can be tough to deal with. I was saying today at church that one of the things that the enemy uses is isolation, and if he can isolate you and get you by yourself, he'll try to whisper things into your life and to your ear, and if you listen to him, you'll fall prey to it. So it was hard dealing with isolation at nighttime. Sometimes I dreaded being on the roof by myself, and especially I dreaded the nighttime, and I would hurry up and try to go to sleep so I could just wake up to the morning.
Did you feel like you experienced any like specific attacks against the plan?
Oh, for sure. Whether it was that initially, the mayor calling and threatening me early in the first 90 days, day 3, Mayor Rahm Emanuel, and sending up the police and the fire department to try to get me off the roof. That was a big, big ordeal.
Wow.
And then, you would have people who would criticize, and I think it was really difficult for some of my church members because they would have to listen to the criticism from their family and from the beauticians and barbers and people that their coworkers, because such a liberal mindset and all the things that I was saying were totally different. So
Right.
It was tough.
You don't got to go here if you don't want to, but the thing that ticked me off was I noticed right away, why am I only seeing this on this news outlet or on this, digital news platform? And I said, man, did any of the other ones come up and talk to you? Because this is a positive thing. You're trying to impact people's lives for the better. Why on earth wouldn't all the networks want to cover this? And you said, no, they didn't come. So
Yeah. It's heartbreaking. I'm going to be honest. When you're really trying to do something to help people and you believe your heart is right, and at least you're trying to be right, you would think that everybody would be for that. And
should be.
And you would think that they're not going to care that whether I'm conservative or liberal, Republican or Democrat or black or white, just the fact that you're trying to help people, but that's not the way it is. And so we had there is a media influence that is not interested in the way I'm trying to accomplish things because it does not line up with their narrative.
Right. What are you going to do ribbon cutting day? Have you looked? I mean, you probably look one step in front of the other, but there's going to come a day where it's time to cut that ribbon. And what if they want to send, what if it ain't just Fox and WGN?
Hey, we invite everybody. We want everybody to come. Hey, you may have not got on the bandwagon at the beginning, but if you get on at the very end, that's cool with me. Just get on.
That's right.
Yeah, we invite everybody. We want everybody to come because we really believe we have a model that works and that can help a lot of areas in America. And so, yeah, we want them to come.
I love it. I love it. It ain't how you start, it's how you finish with the Lord. So that is the right answer. That is absolutely the right answer. The thing that gets me is I interviewed a longtime newscaster in our area, and she got out of it. She said, Bubba, journalism is dead. She said, what is news? She worked the nightly news for years, and she said, news is anything out of the norm. And so she went, Tim Tebow's mom was speaking one night at a church in Cedar Falls, Iowa. And so she went between the 6 o'clock news and the 10 o'clock news, and we had flip phones with cameras then. She took a couple crappy little pictures, and she was like, it was a packed house. Tim Tebow's mom, it was the best message ever. And the news director said, nope, not showing it. Not showing. I was like, this dude is like the most successful college football player of all time. Why would they? And it's like you said, it just didn't fit the narrative because she was speaking pro-life and it was a church setting and all that. But she made the correlation, and she's the nicest person in the world. She loves people. She's a Christian. But she said when University of Northern Iowa had their first transgender homecoming queen, KWWL was right there. It's like you said, they kind of pick and choose what they promote. And that's just not right. That's not journalism.
Not journalism at all.
So we got to get back to that, guys.
Absolutely.
Another question I got when we're talking faith and vision and, a lot of us small town churches, it's about, do we put new carpet in? Do we, stuff like that. Something of this magnitude, what kind of generational change do you see possible in the future for families in your community?
Yeah, we're really pushing and praying to change generations. You know, I tell people all the time that we have lost a lot, and we've lost the generation of children to violence and mindset. So we need a place to where we can have an alternative to inspire people, to give them faith, to get the focus back on family values and trying to get fathers back in their homes. And I really do believe that we can do that. And I think it'll be transformational. And not just for the city of Chicago, but if we can help others to do that in their neighborhoods, on their blocks, then I really believe it can bring a revival. Yeah. And I know when you say revival and even our church, I'm trying to really push them to really believe that God can spark a revival through you. And I've been saying for a long time, for years, that I believe God is going to do a revival, and it starts here on 66 and King Drive. What I did not know is that God would have me start walking across America. And then I started thinking, well, maybe that's the way you do revival. Maybe revival is going to come that way. It is I'm starting here on 66 and King Drive, and it is being born here. And you have to get people to believe that it's possible, and that lives can change, and that people can change, and that generations can change. And I believe that.
I'm with you. Let's talk about that walk across America thing. So you do the rooftop. You outpaced what I was like, man, this guy ain't gonna make it. There ain't no way. I love the guy. I love what he's doing, but there ain't no way he's gonna. I mean, it was dang near a year. It impressed the heck out of me. But you're trying to finish the funding for the center, and you got other things in mind, but you're doing it like you said. You don't want to wait for the government. You want to do this debt free. Let's go. Let's be proactive. Tell us about where you're at financially and the walk across America.
Yeah, so our goal is to raise about $25 million so that we can finish our center debt free. Also, so we can start a school for boys, a Christian school.
Yeah.
We also want to have an endowment so that we can take care of a lot of the things in the future, long after I'm gone. So we want to start seeding the endowment so that we don't have to depend on government. We want to invest wisely so that the money can grow, and those funds can help take care of the school and the center. And then there's a large apartment complex of about 4,000 people. It's one of the last projects in Chicago. We want to buy those projects. And so some of the seed money will go toward helping us to find out and figure out how we can purchase those projects so we can tear them down and build a wonderful community.
Love it. Love it. So for the audience, I'm telling you, go to the website, check it out. Right when you go to Project Hood and you click on Walk Across America, it shows you the whole map. What on earth? Give them the quick rundown. You're starting.
Okay. Quick rundown. So we're going to September 1st of 2025. We're starting New York Times Square. That day, we're going to walk in the Brooklyn Parade. And then we're going to start in New York Times Square. And we're going to go and start heading toward Atlanta. So we're going to go that route. And then from Atlanta, we'll start heading west. So we'll go across the southern region. So we're going to go East Coast, then the southern region. And it takes us one whole year, 12.5 miles every Monday through Friday, taking Saturdays and Sundays off in case we have events or in case I have to travel back to our church here.
Okay.
But either way, we have Saturdays and Sundays so we can do ministry and do events. But it will take us exactly one whole year. So September 1st of 2026, we should be in Los Angeles, California, celebrating on the last day.
Man. And so you're hitting communities, you're asking people to what? Walk with you, sponsor miles.
Yes, walk with me, sponsor miles, wherever you are across the country, pray for us. So, those are the things that we're asking people to do. People from all across America can sponsor a mile. They can go to our website, projecthood.org, and they can tap on the Walk Across America, and then to give them all the information they need. Yeah. We're asking for companies to sponsor. And so it's a lot that needs to be accomplished, but we're going to go hard at it.
I love it. I love it. I love the faith of it, but I love the action of it. I mean, it's just super encouraging. I mean, that's what drew me to start following you and Project Hood and everything in the beginning. But when we talk about the kind of change you're mentioning, I love it. I mean, it's the gospel's at the center of it. You want change lives, transform lives through Jesus, but then what? Then it's accountability and community and taking pride in that and helping the people who need it. I mean, I just love all that stuff. And that's really what comes down to the crux of this episode. Is I was kind of building it up to kind of a alternative to my buddies Jim and Dale and their support for universal basic income. And you said, no, I mean, you kind of agree with me that there's a much better way to do things than taking handouts.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Entitlements won't get you anywhere.
Right. All right, Pastor Brooks, I got to thank you for coming on, man, and sharing what it looks like to combine faith and action in a bold way. That's really what you're doing. One last time, where can people connect with you, follow you on social media, and check your websites and stuff?
Go to projecthood.org. And if you go there, you can find out all of our other social media platforms, whether it's on X or Facebook or Instagram, but go to projecthood.org.
Love it. There you go, guys. He makes it real simple for you. Guys, this was inspiring. This was some good discussion. Hopefully you're still with us because this was some life-changing stuff we shared here. I'm sure, Pastor Brooks, I'm sure you encouraged our audience with your episode. Everything you shared, both part 1 and part 2, hopefully got people thinking a little bit about what is up. What is up with life? To my audience, have you caught yourself looking around anytime, whether it's in the last 5 years or the last 50 years, and just asking yourself, what is up with this? What's going on in the world? Like Pastor Brooks said, the farther we get from God in our own lives and in our families, is society as a whole, are things getting better or are they getting worse? You don't need a college degree to answer that question correctly. You can see the lack of fruit in our families today. It's not a coincidence. That's a prime example of cause and effect. Pastor Brooks is trying to change that, reverse that. And believe me, God can do that. We just need to be willing. So let me tell you, this faith in God, allowing him to change lives, getting behind him, following him, that's that real generational change. There's no group of other human beings out there that are so enlightened that they can magically fix things in our society. Stop listening to the people in Washington. If they could fix everything by now, they would have. It's going to be the same stuff, okay? We got to look up. This is what Pastor Brooks is preaching in Chicago. Take responsibility, get our lives together, beginning with realizing that we make terrible gods. We really need to let the Almighty guide and direct our lives. And that begins with surrendering. And for some people, that's just a bridge too far, man. They don't want to do it. They don't want to give up control. But I promise you, if we look to God and his word, he will show us what is up. He does that. That's the business he's in. I think the Bible proves itself every single day. The best answers, the best explanations for why the world is the way it is and why we are the way we are, why we do the things we do sometimes. So if you're struggling and you need help or you want to know more, you can join me any Sunday at First Baptist Church in Dunkerton, Iowa, or online on our Facebook page. If you're in the Chicago area, stop in at New Beginnings Church. Check Pastor Brooks out for yourself. See if he's the real deal. Just go in, check it out. What do you got to lose? You got everything to gain. If you need to reach out to me, you can email me, whatisuppodcast@gmail.com. I'll personally share the gospel with you and try to answer any questions you don't have. If you got a question for me that I can't answer, I'm gonna refer you to some of my elders and people like Pastor Brooks and say, okay, I'll get you the right answer, all right? But I'll start with this. No matter who you are, what you've done, God wants a relationship with you. That is why we were created, but we got to choose him, all right? It's up to us. That's where all the hope and the joy and the peace, the best things in life that everybody wants, and they go searching everywhere for it and they come up short. That's where it comes from. It comes from a relationship with the Lord. So if you want real change, I promise you God will deliver like no one else. If you haven't figured it out by now, there's nothing else on this earth that is going to satisfy you completely or permanently. There is a God-shaped hole in every single one of us, and that's only one thing that's going to fit in there. There's no person, there's no philosophy, there's no government, there's no president, there's no teacher, podcaster, or preacher. We're all fallen. We got to look up, okay? So thank you guys so much for listening. I hope it really encouraged you.
I just want to say thanks for having me on the show. And, I hope and pray that your show grows and prospers. And I think people are getting a wonderful opportunity to learn about what is up. And so thank you so very much from South side of Chicago all the way to Iowa. We send our blessings upon you. And if you ever need us, we're always here. And again, I'm looking forward to you and your wife hopefully coming out and joining us on a 12.5-mile hike one day.
That would be awesome, man. If we can make it happen, we're going to make it happen. That's good stuff. For me and my guest today, Pastor Brooks from the South side of Chicago, doing big things in faith. Lord willing, I'll talk to you on the next one.
God bless.
All right, buddy. That's going to be it, man. I'll take that little bit that you said and I'll throw that in.